In the last couple of weeks, I've started thinking over this entire step change for me, where I've transitioned from being the only machine learning engineer taking care of all of the different aspects of what needs to be delivered in the product, to working in a team where there's a variety of strengths and weaknesses across the team. There's a variety of experiences, variety of perspectives. And what I've found is that when you're working in a team that gels well together, there's this ability to hit flow simultaneously. So where you're able to design the path forward in the product in a way that can leverage each other's skills best. And to me, it's interesting to see that happen because it results in strong flow, it results in a heightened sense of focus on the things that are really important. Now, that may be code quality, that may be customer value, that may be business value, whatever that right understanding is. When you have a mutual understanding of those values, a team can come together and you feel that multiplying effect. And that's something that I've been really enjoying in the last 8 weeks. It's funny because last time I spoke about value and how you assign yourself value based on the number of lines of code that you can create. But then you start looking at how your smaller actions can amplify by, let's say, a code review or me completing a small subtask that may not have seemed like a priority for me, may unlock the actions of 2 or 3 more people on my team. The roll-on effect of that smaller task is basically an amplification of what I could deliver by doing that one task. When you assess the choice to do that task at an individual level, it may not make sense, but this is where we start seeing a bigger picture, this is where we start seeing a bigger team, and ultimately this is why you need a larger team in order to deliver serious value. On the flip side, I've also started to realize that there's so much more for me to understand in terms of what it takes to put together a really elite team. And when I say elite, I mean a group of people that can see eye to eye, that can call each other out comfortably. That's really important. Telling someone that you think a particular way of doing something is bad is extremely important because that's the only way you can improve, right? Having that mutual respect across the team is so critical. So one of the things that I'm trying to focus more on is how do you empower a team and how do your individual actions empower a larger team? For example, I got some feedback earlier today where I realized that what I've been doing was trying to include everyone across the decision-making process. Now, while that's great from like a camaraderie perspective, it's not necessarily the most efficient use of the team's time. Now, if we were to amplify each other's effect, the thought would be, okay, what's the minimum number of people from this team that are needed to make that decision? And how do you effectively communicate that and ensure that other concerns are taken into account without needing everybody to be synchronously in one space? Now, this is the challenge when you're an individual. You're not worrying about synchronicity. Your decision making is happening on the fly as you go. In a larger team, and as teams get larger and larger, you start worrying about this more. So it's definitely something that I'm going to spend a bit more time thinking about and a bit more time assessing how do my actions impact the overall effectiveness of the team, not just directly in terms of what blockers I'm able to take down or what tasks I'm able to complete, but also how do I operate within a team? How do I choose between synchronous and asynchronous communications? How does all of this affect the productivity of the team? Exciting times ahead, especially being able to challenge myself in this manner. It's different to just the technical challenge. I'm starting to hold myself to a better standard when it comes to how I operate within the company. And hopefully the lessons that I learn along the next few weeks and months are just going to make me better and better and better as an engineer and as an employee and as a leader.